indication that the board would be okay with that, but I think we need to finalize that and certify that tonight.
I don't think any of the board members here tonight were here for the previous site plan application. We had quite a bit of public input on the last warehouse project. There was extensive comment about the number of tractor trailers that arguably are parked regularly on this road, waiting to get into the site, waiting to back into loading docks, that are utilizing the entire width of Halleck Road to back into the loading docks. There was a lot of comment, and there was changes and requirements made based upon those requirements. I think the board may want to take a look at whatever minutes are available from previous public hearing. And I think you want to get public comment on this one early. We don't want to waste our time with a second round or an ongoing public hearing. We also don't want to waste our time fully developing a plan where then you're caught by surprise by a lot of comment about the plan that you're pursuing.
I would also note one of the other issues we were having with paving was maintaining a separate, because I'd have to run pipe then pretty much along the entire frontage of the property. And I'm having a hard time maintaining 10 feet of separation distance to my water main extension. So that's actually the biggest hurdle. So if you guys go to sheet 5 of 12, we're going to end up having to extend the water main that was already extended for the prior building, further down along to the frontage of building number 2. So if I put a few catch basins along Halleck Road to handle drainage runoff, and I'm hiking that, there's a 10-foot separation distance that's required to the water main that's also shown on the street, and I can't maintain that.
Can you get 5?
That I probably can get, but I'm gonna have to get health department approval for this extension again.
The health department will discuss 5 with you with specific requirements and
Concrete encasement.
stepped excavation with some kind of an undisturbed division, at least partially between the 2 trenches, possibly encasement, but they have approved it previously.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I haven't done that yet, so, okay, we can take a look.
Yeah, that'd be good to proceed.
If we can do that, then paving Halleck Road up to the fence line is not an issue. That's really the only thing that's precluding me from looking at that.
Yeah, because then that'll really mitigate a lot of the issue with complaints of trucks, and then you'll have to be swerving around trucks, at least the trucks will be mostly off the road and.
Yeah, but I still do think that the intent would be for trucks to kind of circulate through the back.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have the nose of the truck pointing out into Halleck Road and then maneuvering back into the loading dock. So we're gonna try to avoid the best we can coming down Halleck Road, stopping and K-turning back in. You follow what I'm saying too? So at least we're trying to keep, and that's how the other site functions right now for the most part. We have a very similar setup. If we have a little bit of an oversized tractor trailer, WB 73 footer, the nose will pop out into the street, you follow what I'm saying, turn to the side a little bit, and then they'll kind of back in so that it's at least minimally.
So they're coming in from Locust.
So your traffic is entering from Locust?
We can enter from Locust, and we can enter from Nickel Street too, and the entrance that DO has there, and basically that would be the preferred idea, is to kind of run down an entire corridor down there. We can queue trucks back there that way too.
If we could get the majority of the traffic to run the whole back of the
That's
site,
the idea, yeah.
that would definitely address a lot of
Yep.
previous comment.
Yeah, and that's something we've discussed with the board, and the board had requested that. So yeah, we can.
Yeah, it was just a matter of seeing how your internal traffic would be able to maneuver to accomplish.
Which is why I did a lot of turning movements and
Yeah, I see
showing.
that, yeah.
That was the purpose for it, is to say, hey, if we're gonna come down this way, can we actually make this happen? we still might need to poke our nose out into Halleck, but it's very clear that we can get down the back corridor and we can turn down the main aisle between the two buildings, there's plenty of room there for that. Poke our nose out into Halleck and probably back up in. So I can redo turning diagrams that show that. It's more likely that it'll work, it's more likely that's exactly what's gonna happen. But I tried anyway to see the concern.
For the specifics where I'm talking about, you flipping a corner of a building here and there, that we can wait on. I think it's more just getting the overall concept of
Yeah,
here's
yeah.
how we can move.
No, I agree, and before we do anything, I've got to go to the ZBA. I've got to get a plan, I got to get the basics, this grading plan, everything else. And we still got to go to the ZBA, and I haven't done storm. That's not taking long, but can't get to it.
I do definitely also look into that also, because if there is a truck already waiting in that queue area and a truck does have to go around, or let's say a truck does have to come in through Halleck or something, as per one of the turning diagrams, the truck would have to drive through the ditch, so it wouldn't make any sense then.
Yeah, I'll give the health department a call tomorrow, just so I understand the methodology. And if I'm understanding, my understanding is that we can do what John said, which I'm sure is correct, I just want to understand, then we can do that. But we'd be glad to do that. I think Dio would prefer to do that, actually. It's what he did on the site before, and it's worked. So.
Then the only other thing is, the cars parking on the, that would be the north, southeast, south end of the property? The ones,
Sorry, what
parking,
page are you
the fence,
On the Main Street side.
yes, on the Main Street side, the fence, if that could be impermeable, that'd be good.
Oh, yeah, that's
Because
not,
I think we talked about
you
with
mean,
headlights and
that's
stuff.
privacy slats.
Yes, yes.
It's for the neighbors in the back, yeah, we've talked about that.
And did you hear anything, because now that that property over there has, it's no longer an Erie Property Corp., it's the Orange County, I don't know if this is the land trust or organization who's gonna be turning it into a rail trail. Did you have to contact them about anything, or did it affect anything in any way?
Yeah, there's nothing we're doing that's impeding on their property, so I don't think there's any need for us to contact. There was no need for us to contact them in the previous two projects.
Now that they are the current owner, though, they will be notified
For public-
along with all the other neighbors.
I mean, I would note, we did try to see if we could come in off Halleck and come parallel to the front of the building and turn in. It's tight. It's really, it certainly will not be the preferred way to do it. You're gonna have to have a very skilled driver. So, I think you mentioned something about landscaping too, in the letter, it's something the board might wanna.
Yeah, I mean, we are looking at a site that is gonna be 99% paved, and we're looking at pushing that out a little bit more to get paving further out, even beyond the limits of the property, to get up to Halleck, which leaves you probably about 8 square inches on this property for landscaping.
It's generous.
Is that something this board is comfortable with? Do they need to look at leaving areas for landscaping? You know, likely it's not a concern for this property to the same owners adjacent to their house. But you do have residential properties behind. You have non-industrial properties across Halleck.
I would just,
It's something for your board to consider.
I would piggyback that even though we are paving a lot, this is probably gonna look a lot better than the Spindler property did before when we were done. He's intending on using some similar style architecture for this building also. I mean, I don't know if we'll for sure have the room for it when we're done, but we do have these little islands out in the front.
Yeah, I'm looking at,
You
actually,
might be able to, I'm not sure what we would put there that
I'm
would
looking
look,
at street view right now.
I don't know what we would be able to put there that would make it look better than just leaving it grassed or empty, but we can certainly look at that.
I'm looking at the street view of it right now from the other building, and it does look like well, I don't know when exactly the street view is taken, look like sometime this summer. Unfortunately, the grass there in that island is actually rather disheveled looking, it's mostly just dirt at this point. Maybe some sort of little shrubbery, something that doesn't require a lot of water, whether it be like a pine shrubbery or something, just to break it up a little bit, you know?
Keep it low growing.
Yeah.
All right, so whatever we end up with islands along the front of the building, we'll see if we can get some type of landscaping of some sort in that area.
Yeah, even if it's not grass, if it's, you know, a gravel with some shrubbery in it, something low maintenance, low growing.
And we will, if the board likes this plan that they see before them, we will make the revisions that John has noted on the plans. We'll take into account some of the suggestions as it relates to shrubbery in those islands. I'll talk to the DOH and see if I can work out a 5-foot separation and pave that Howard Road. We'll show some turning diagrams that utilize portions of Halleck so that we're aware of what ultimately the operation will be. Is there anything else, major items we need to?
Lighting, can you talk about lighting for a second?
We certainly can talk about lighting, sure.
Been visiting down there just a little bit, spoke to a few different people. The lighting that's on the building, even though I understand they tried to keep it in close, it is still intrusive on some of the backyards. Can we put pole lighting in that where it faces these buildings as opposed to on building where it faces out and we try and control it?
I'll do the best I can. I don't know if I will, we don't have a lot of room in the state, so trucks will be running around, cars, I got a feeling, I feel like if we put pole lighting up, we might knock it down. I'm not saying no to you, I just want to make sure that I can do it before I commit to a yes. If that's, and I can work with John on that, if that's looking like it might be an issue, I mean, because John, I don't have an island left on this.
I mean, if you,
I've got the crosshatched
like
areas.
behind building number 2, you've got, on the Locust Street side, you've got a crosshatch area you can put one pole in.
I have to curb it, because I don't have a curb, that's just painting right now.
Right. You've got
But that's close to,
what looks like a walkway.
that's close to the residential neighbor side. Do I want to put poles on the residential neighboring
Well,
side?
I mean, that's the request, so we can look at it. You have what looks like a handicap crosshatch crossing the road in the middle of the building. It's coming from right next to the handicap space.
But yeah, I don't think you want to put a pole there for, if it's
Handicap,
a
yeah.
ramp on a van, the ramp won't be able to come down, if there's a pole
Well,
right there.
on the property line, they potentially could.
Correct.
Listen, then you're
And then,
running into the issue of that's gonna be a prospective rail trail there.
Let me,
Well, the question was asked, could he get pole lighting? I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm not saying we like it, we don't like it. I'm
there's areas.
just
we just
discussing whether
mix-
we could possibly get it in
We
there.
just gotta see if they make sense. But we can certainly work to, at the same time, if the pole lighting becomes an issue, to work with whatever we put on the building to make sure that it's certainly dark sky friendly, downlit, and LED, and whatever else we can come up with to make sure that it's as the least amount of intrusive
And I
as
just have
possible.
a question for you. Have you driven by on Halleck in the evening?
I have, but not recently, but let me see what I can
If you
recall.
get a chance and you're in the neighborhood, drive
Well, I
by
might
on
tonight.
a dark night, not a full moon night, and let me know what you think on the lighting on
Oh, no,
Halleck.
well, I've seen, so, yeah, there's,
It's daylight.
it's daylight to the fence line, for sure. The lights right now are high. So, and that's indisputable, so we might need to look at a 20-foot height. He's got them, some of those wall packs might be taller than that right now.
They're powerful wall packs, and they're throwing light on.
But then again, I just also want to remind the board that, you know, he's got to keep this site super well lit. I mean, because he's storing stuff in here that bad people can get to. And we don't, that's why he fences every site, that's why he's,
There's no doubt the site's well maintained and
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it isn't, but it is in a residential neighborhood. There's people who live there under those lights.
yeah, we'll certainly work to the
Part
best
of the
we can.
lighting requirements in the village are limits on how much light can spill over the property line. Your comment right now is the first that I've heard otherwise for this site, but we could require an as-built certification that whatever spillover that goes over the property line conforms to what you will have approved as part of the application. If you see it that bright beyond the property line, it's probably not.
There's a lot of light poles in that area too, though. I mean, so that's a little misleading whether or not it's fully coming from him or if it's actually street lighting too.
Just drive down.
I'm going to right after the meeting tonight.
Drive down, let me know what you think. You'll get the message, that's all. Sure.
Does the board have anything else for me?
All these comments.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of housekeeping items.
I have a lot of items, I'll have a lot more as the plan develops. Mike knows and is gonna anticipate 3/4 of them. I think what he's looking for is general direction at this point. Do you like the concept?
I mean, I want to say you've told me once before you like this concept.
Well,
So I guess I'm asking you again.
my 2 cents is that it's a commercial application in a commercial area, so from that standpoint, it makes sense. Some things have come to my attention in asking around and whatnot. The noise from the trucks idling at night on Halleck is a problem. It's bright, so again, in growing it and expanding it, in my opinion, we want to pay attention to the noise from the trucks and that it's bright, and if we can get those under control, I think it looks pretty good.
Okay. All right, super. So we'll make all the adjustments. We'll try to progress the plans as much as we can. And we'll see you soon.
And maybe it'll stay the same.
I,
Not be different.
one thing might not stay the same would be me. If this plan doesn't stay the same at this point. No, I do think this is it. We've gone through enough rounds of revisions, and I've expressed my 2 cents, so I think at this point, hopefully we're good.
We all good on comments? Our next meeting is a regular meeting, Tuesday, May 24th at 7 PM. Here at Village Hall. Motion to adjourn at 8:25.
We have a motion to adjourn, and a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for your time tonight, everybody.
Thank you.